about the Damar Hamlin fake punt.
Oh
my God.
I didn't realize
what is
that
Buffalo thinking?
I didn't first off, I didn't realize that was Hamlin until I saw the memes for it later, and I was like,
oh no,
they put Hamlin in that position. There's a reason why we love Ditka. There's a reason why we say Ditka versus a hurricane. We're going Ditka, even if the hurricane's name is Ditka. Travis Kelce might be actually announcing his retirement too, George.
No. Fan, short for fanatic, is the one who's screaming their lungs out in sub-0 degree temperatures, still believing when the chips are down, and never, ever giving up on their teams or their players. From the closest seat to the worst one, we want to meet you all. This is the American Fan.
What's going on, sports fans? It's your boy Josh Williams back again with another episode of the American Fan 365 podcast. You can see I was scrambling a little bit at the beginning here. Had to get things situated. So
the phone holder.
Yeah. I had to look. I looked down. I was like, where's my stuff? Oh no. So, but Josh Williams back again. Man, I got to introduce George. George, it was a great weekend, man. Another great sports weekend. How'd you feel about this weekend?
It was amazing. This is my favorite. I always say this whenever it comes to playoff sports and the weekend comes. I'm like, this is my favorite weekend in sports. I probably say that 8 times a year, honestly.
Yeah.
And we just got like a really good one. Like the first week of the playoffs wasn't necessarily as close as this week was, and boy, it was a doozy, bro. We both made money from it, and yes. I'm grateful for that.
It was. I will say it was definitely more dialed in. I picked 3 out of the 4 winners.
Beautiful.
And technically, even the one that I didn't pick, I still won. So, yeah, it's like we said before. This is what you were saying earlier is so true. This is each team's truest sense of themselves.
Correct.
Moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like we should get your best. Whatever that looks like, there isn't anything holding back. What was it from from The Replacements? There is no tomorrow for you people. Right. That one, there's no tomorrow for these guys. There's no more tomorrow. So there's no like, oh, let me save it for next week, or we got so-and-so next week. There is no next week unless we do this week. You know what I'm saying? So really, really good. I meant to send you some of my bets from over the weekend.
They're on your IG story, partner. You don't think I could pull that up?
Well, I mean, that's one. That was the small one that I was talking about. We were able to get this one. We knocked this one down. This was yesterday's games. I had the Lions money line because I think the Lions were like plus. I don't think they covered. I don't know if they probably did. They probably did at the end.
Yeah, they covered. They were -6.
They were -6, but it was like, I feel like it's going to be close. You know what I mean? But I felt like they would win. I felt like they were still the better team, so they should win.
Right.
But Jameer Gibbs, 4 catches. 4.
Damn, bro. It's crazy how they get this like so on the nose. He had an amazing game.
He did.
Jameer Gibbs is now a household name.
He had 1 catch in the whole first half. I was sweating bullets. I was like, yo. And then every time Jared Goff would dump it off, I'd look up like, Montgomery again. Like, I'm like, get Jameer Gibbs in the game. I need these catches. And then, the Chiefs, again, I felt like the Chiefs were going to win, but why would you take the money line when they're staring as a dog? Like, take them as a dog. Yeah. You think they're going to win, take them as the dog. You'll get more money out of it. So,
yes.
You know what
and
I mean?
That is what I did. That is what I did. I myself had a cash out moment this weekend, Josh, that I'll never forget.
Never forget.
Yeah. So Cameron and I both were up on the weekend and we're like, you know what? Let's go take out $350. We had, I think Cameron has like 500 in her sports betting account. She's been on fire lately.
Good job, Cam.
And then I had like 450, and I was like, you know what? Let's both go cash out like $300, and let's just have some run money for the week, and just it'll be nice. So we go cash out, and we're at the Gold Coast, and we had the best thing said, Josh. The Gold Coast ticket taker was like, "Hey, boss, we're gonna need some more cash." And obviously, it's the casino has enough to pay $700 to us. No issue. But just hearing that come from his mouth, I was like, yeah, you're fucking right. You're fucking right. You guys need to go get some money because we ran you dry.
Oh,
boom.
My. Oh, okay, George.
All-time moment.
This was the other one that I was telling you about. I said I couldn't remember what the other pick was. I knew I had something else. So the other parlay from Saturday's games, because I made a mistake and I posted Sunday's game ticket on Saturday.
Just being proactive.
I looked up like later in the day, was like, oh no, we stink again. Like it's such a mistake. But like, so I had the over in the Houston Texans Ravens game, which went over on the field goal, the final field goal that Justin Tucker hit, where they went for it once already on fourth down. I was like, they're gonna freaking run the clock out. Like they're gonna run this clock out, and I'm gonna be stuck sitting here at under 43 and a half. He kicks the field goal. It's pure, perfect. 44 on a 43 and a half. CJ Stroud over 8.5 rushing yards.
Cash.
He got 9. Oh God, I was so nervous on that too. I was like, do they count sacks? Like
no,
I'm like,
sacks are takeoff from the passing yards.
Yeah, they do, but like, you know what I mean? Look, it's one of those things.
I was thinking that. What constitutes it?
That's the word I was going to use. Good job. Great job.
What constitutes?
Exactly. What's a designed run? Was it a designed run? Was it a pass? Was he scrambling? We don't know. So it's like, how are they rating this attempt?
Right.
And so like when he was at 9, I was like, I don't know. I'm like, get to 15 just so I have a cushion.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
When he stayed at 9, bro, from like the third quarter. It was 9 on the third quarter, and I was like, I don't feel good.
He almost, if I'm not mistaken, he made us feel really confident. I think the first drive he scrambled for 8 yards.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5.
We're like, yes, all right,
got it. And then didn't run again. I think he ran for like 1, 2, and I was like, bro, like for real, can you please get to this number?
For real, dude. No, I'm with you on that.
The other one was Lamar Jackson to score a touchdown. So he got 2 touchdowns. He threw for 4, but he had 4 total, but he ran for 2 touchdowns. And then I had the Packers 9.5 spread. Like I was telling you before, I had them winning, but you know what I mean? It still won.
Right.
But I will tell you. So this is. Remember last week where I was saying I called the play action to who was that? Crap, I can't remember the tight end on the Packers. For that to be
Tucker Kraft.
No. The young he's a young kid. He's like, I don't think he's a rookie. I think he's like second-year player.
I'll get you his name.
But but like his touchdown was the one that got me to 2 on the 1.5 over for CJ Stroud.
Bo Melton?
No.
Luke Musgrave.
Musgrave, that's the guy. Yeah, Musgrave. And apparently that was like his first time staying on his feet. Like there was a whole meme in the locker room, hooray for Musgrave not falling. And they like showed like all the times he was like wide open this season and just turf monster, fall down, catch it, but fall. And it's like, bro, you could have walked in the end zone. So that one,
tough.
Lord. And he tried to stumble on that one too.
Yep.
But yeah, I had we'll get into that when we get to the NFL segment, but I did have the Packers actually winning that game. But but look, if you feel like they're gonna win and you're getting 9.5, take the 9.5 and run.
Right.
Just take the 9.5. So shout out to the Packers. That ticket, $15 got me $190. So it was a solid ticket.
Yeah, that is, brother.
Pay a bill.
That's what we got to do. Hey, we're not looking for generational wealth. We're looking for week-to-week wealth, baby.
I'm just looking to get these bills paid. That's it. One by one. One ticket at a time.
That's great.
So, man, I don't know if they have I don't think they have the player props up for this week just yet. But yeah, another good week. Like you were saying earlier, George, playoff anything is the best time to bet. But now it's time to dial in on college basketball, you were saying?
Yeah, I think college basketball has got to be the primary focus, because NBA, this is where you get the biggest load management in preparation for like end of February, early March, where they start gunning it.
Yeah.
But college basketball, hey, it's serious now. But we discussed this before, that college basketball has the same image problem that baseball has. Like, how do we not know the stud players from Duke? How do we not know who Kentucky has cooking up or North Carolina, like you brought up.
Yeah.
I couldn't name you a one right now.
Bro, look, as a Georgetown fan, I don't know one child on the team. Not one. That's not okay.
No, it's not.
We're that trash
Hey,
that I haven't watched a minute. Like, it's like I refuse to frustrate myself. That doesn't make me a bad fan. That makes me a good individual. I'm trying my best to be a good person in this world.
Yes.
Like, if I just watch and just get sadness everywhere, I'm liable to kirk out.
Yeah.
You probably don't even know what kirk out is. That's an East Coast term.
No, that sounds bad though.
It's not good.
That
it's
sounds
not
very
good.
bad. I know who Caitlin Clark is.
Hey, step back from the logo.
Dude.
That's a bad white girl. I ain't gonna lie to you. She's cold.
Hey, women's basketball does not have an image problem.
No, and
Do you got Angela Lee or
no. You talking about from LSU?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on her name, but see, I know their faces.
We know who they are.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
that. But see, and the thing is, though, the reason that women's college sports, I would say, is college basketball is better right now than men's is because these kids, one, they're not transferring every 5 seconds. Two, it's similar to what college always was these kids are staying in school. So the narratives start, LSU and I think it's Iowa that she plays on.
Right.
They've got beef because they met in the finals and all that kind of stuff. Like, there are storylines. There aren't any storylines in men's college basketball right now outside of me cheering for my colors and you cheering for yours. And we've already done the colors pitch, so we don't have to rehash that. But like, that's really all I'm doing. I'm cheering. Go Red Team. Like, that's all I've got.
Yeah.
I don't know who these kids are in the jerseys.
Bronny James is the only college basketball player that I'm like,
Yeah. And how's he turning out, George?
Okay.
Just like I told you.
He's
All
an
of you.
average.
He's gonna be
lottery.
lottery. He's this. I'm like, bro, listen, I've seen that child play in real life. He ain't that. He isn't LeBron. Now, the one that you do, and I've said this too, not because, everybody's gonna be like, oh, you hate LeBron. Of course, you're not gonna cheer for him. Brycey, the second, the middle child,
Yeah.
he's going to probably be decent.
Yeah.
One, because he already flies under the radar as the middle child. But then also he has an NBA body. He's 6'7". He's 6'8".
He's thick.
You know what I'm saying? He looks more LeBron than Bronny does, truthfully.
Hey, Bronny needs to find a corner three and just be elite at just being a perimeter shooter. He's too small to be a point guard and control the offense he probably is comfortable doing.
But he's not big enough to be a two.
Correct. So you better just get really physical on defense, young man, and don't miss a corner three.
I will say he's a great defender. Great defender. He has the IQ simply because his dad has such a great IQ. But to your point, we're already setting him up to be a role player. That's a role player in the NBA. That's not the star. You know what I mean? It's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. But I knew that the ESPN was gonna try to prop him up as much as they could, and they was like, we can't shoot 1 for 7 and expect us to get highlights. So
Facts.
Good luck out there. And he went to USC. He should have went to Duke and hid. I said that. If he would have went to Duke and been around other stars, he would have been hiding in plain sight and be like, oh, Bronny's good. He's averaging 15.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is scoring too. Go somewhere where you got to actually do it on yourself. And so switching gears, we're about to switch over to the NFL. But George, there was some news that came in right before we went on air. Travis Kelce might be actually announcing his retirement too, George.
No.
Yeah, see, I didn't tell you. I was like, I'll spring that on air. Yeah, man. So the Kelsey brothers possibly might be retiring in the same year, which would also put them in line to be Hall of Famers in the same class. That would be the first time ever that brothers went in the Hall of Fame at the same time.
Right.
It sucks, especially because I feel like Travis Kelce now has really he's really gotten his flowers, I'd say, over the last 3 years. He's been great for a good chunk of his career, but the last 3 years, he's finally really starting to be noticed. I think now it's stupid just because of the Taylor Swift element, but even before that, you know what I mean? Like, last season's performance gave him all these commercials this year. You know what I mean? It feels like he got it all because now he's dating Taylor Swift. But last year, putting on such a performance again, helping win a second title with the Chiefs. Listen, I don't want to see him go because I love Travis Kelce. I think he's I won't put him at the top of tight ends, but he's definitely in that conversation.
Agreed, 100%. He's earned to be in the top 3 combos, and that they'll put his career under a microscope when it's over. So, winning an extra title will definitely, benefit him.
Look,
okay, Gronk's better. Gronk is the best tight end of all time.
Wow, so you go Gronk too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was looking, and I was like, well, let me go ahead and pull up a few of the best of all time. So we've got Gronk, obviously, Gronk probably has 4 titles, I think.
I will do a search.
3 or 4, because I know Tom. So Tom won 3. Tom won 3 before Gronk got there. Gronk got there, I want to say like 11-ish, somewhere in there, and so
4-time Super Bowl champ.
Yeah. Okay. All right, and they won 3 more in New England. They won 1 together in Tampa. So that's 4 titles. That already separates him so much just by itself. Tony Gonzalez is an absolute stud, absolute beast. Was on a lot of bad teams, sadly. His one chance to win, didn't get it done, 28-3. Tom Brady and Gronk took one off him. Happens. Shannon Sharp. We think of Uncle Shay now as, a media mogul, and that he is. But he was a great, all-time great, tight end. Not even a question. One of the first to really do so much and do a lot of spread outs and all those different things. And then 2-time Super Bowl champion. So Tony Gonzalez didn't get him. Shannon Sharp, 3-time Super Bowl champion Shannon Sharp, because he won 1 with the Ravens as well.
True.
So that's 3 times. Antonio Gates, same thing. Really kind of this new age tight end that started to get more looks and getting 100, catches in a season and 1,000 yards. Antonio Gates had some injuries at the end, never won. Quiet one, George, and this is coming from hate. Jason Witten.
Ooh.
Jason Witten was a problem. Hey. I tell you, as a Redskins fan, I was happy the day he retired. I was like, oh, thank God. We don't have to worry about that 3rd down problem anymore. 3rd and 15, all right, just get off the field defense. Oh, Witten across the middle,
You're just like, all our linebackers have to do is just stay true, right? We don't need to overplay anything, and Jason Witten would just pop to the other side.
Jerk route. Here I am.
Yeah. Can I hit you with one of my all-time favorite tight ends?
Okay.
Does not get the respect that he deserves.
Okay.
Dallas Clark.
Dallas
Clark of the Colts, number 44, never wore gloves, fucking tough as nails.
I love you because I was going to put him down, and I looked at his numbers, and I was like,
hell no.
He's a little different.
Hell no.
He's a little bit below these other guys.
Because
he had 5,000 yards. I think it was like 44 touchdowns. But again, a 3rd down, he was the big play guy. Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, they got all the shine. They're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Dallas Clark probably not going to get in the Hall of Fame, but he was the guy that made the back-breaking catches. He made a lot of big plays in the middle of that defense for the Colts.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I feel like if the Colts would have gotten 1 more together, you know what I'm saying? Because they only got the 1. Tom got the rest. But if they would have gotten 1 more, I think Dallas Clark would be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine him in modern day NFL.
Oh yeah.
He would have eaten, right? If he got to play like what Kyle Juszczyk gets to do with San Fran and going out wide to run routes, you never saw Dallas Clark. It was honestly the most obvious telltale sign that you're going to run a bubble screen. Just like Dallas Clark's been lining up at tight end all day, and then he splits out wide. Everyone's like, all right, they're running a screen.
It is. So then, George, I wanted to also give some shine and some shout outs to the older players. So up first, Kellen Winslow. No, not that Kellen Winslow. His daddy, not K2. Kellen Winslow, also from the Chargers, was one of the original, spread wide, do everything, get tons of opportunities in the passing game. Kellen Winslow, Ozzie Newsome from the Colts, great. That was Johnny Unitas's go-to guy. Dave Casper that goes to the post. We talking Raiders, the autumn wind, catching balls from Kenny Stabler.
Yep.
And then the coach, before he was the coach, Mike Ditka.
Oh, wow.
Ditka's up there. He's up there. There's a reason why we love Ditka. There's a reason why we say Ditka versus a hurricane. We're going Ditka. Even if the hurricane's name is Ditka, we're still going to keep him with Mike Ditka. So, shout out to the coach as well. But Travis Kelce is in that conversation with any of those guys. So I wanted to definitely give him his flowers before we jumped in to the NFL, George. So let's see. I'll give you a break to run in the read.
Oh, yes. Here we are.
I got you. So today, our NFL segment is brought to you by our friends at Coco Love, the beverage of choice of the American Fan 365. Head over to www.cocolovewater.com for your own case of coconut refreshment and use the code TAF365 for your discount on Hawaiian Beach vibes. Also, George, man, listen, not only do we need some more Coco Love from Vinny, the founder. But I also got to give a shout out to Coco Love because now they're, George, let me get this recentered. Now they're also, I'm seeing them more and more in convenience stores. I'm seeing them more in 7-Elevens. I'm seeing them more in gas stations. I've seen them in Walgreens as well. So shout out to Coco Love. They're out here. They're out here. So you can go online, but you also can go in stores as well. So definitely give them a plug and make sure you tag them because it is delicious. I know George right now would be taking a sip in the back, but we don't have any extras, so I need to take care of that.
I used it all in my alcohol drinks. Perfect mixer, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna have him send them to my house. They're gonna come to my house. They're like, I can't trust the studio for anything. We got a new engineer in the building right now. Keep your hands off my Coco Love. I'm gonna just let you know right now. I'm gonna just let that be known. Stop touching my Coco Love. They are delicious, but I do need them as props as well.
Don't touch it.
Stop touching my drum set. Oh, my goodness. All right, George. So let's switch gears. We're going to talk first and foremost about, this weekend's game. So like last week, I named each of these games, George. So the first game, George, I titled it, "It's My Turn, Not Yours Bowl." This was the Packers versus the Niners. And listen, we feel like the Packers should have won that game. The Packers had multiple opportunities to finish it or at least put themselves in position to win. I'm not going to get into the bad spots. Actually, screw it. It's my show. I will get into the bad spots. Oh, George.
Yes.
Not only I was trying to clip it, I forgot and started watching Baywatch. Don't ask.
Whoa. Hey, yo.
Listen. All right. You asked. I'll say something. I have to defend my honor now. No, look. Okay. Listen. On my Samsung TV, right? Like Samsung has like Samsung channels.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because
yes.
I don't have actual TV. I have Fire Stick, Netflix, and
there's no need anymore. They give you live TV.
That's what I'm saying.
Nice.
So there's literally a Baywatch channel, and it runs for 24 hours. And so, like, look, listen. As an adult, I can tell you, the show actually was really good.
I'm sure, bro.
No, look, as a child, I wasn't watching it for that reason.
Right.
We'll move it along.
You're like David Hasselhoff, hell of an actor, right?
I'd be like, get Hasselhoff off the screen. Yeah. Bring back Pam Anderson. Where is Yasmin Bleeth?
Come on now.
But yeah, man, the spots were just horrendous spots. On the fourth down where they went for it was 4th and 1. You know what I mean? Like they marked the ball this far off the red line. It's like, come on, man.
Right.
And then my thing is the first down plays that go for 9 yards when they clearly go for 10, and then they mark them at like 8.5, and it's like, bro, now, what do we do on second down, George? Oh, well, it's short distance. It's a perfect time to play action. Well, the defense knows that too. So we get it incomplete. Now it's 3rd and 2. We go for it again. Don't pick it up when it should have already been a first down.
Right.
Like, that's the kind of stuff that I notice a lot with my Redskins games, but I notice it even more, too, when it happens to other people's teams, and they never talk about that stuff. The spots that the refs give are horrible. We do need to come up with some kind of a GPS system in these footballs where it's like that is the exact moment this ball went out of bounds or whatever, where the ball ended up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm in full agreement with you. The thing that I always find interesting is the fact that they're able to pinpoint players in a body. This is why I think the push tush is a play that should always be called short. It's like, dude, you can't see when Jalen Hurts' knee falls down in a pile of people.
It's impossible.
It's literally impossible, but you're going to just guess he's 3 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage. And those are the type of plays that make me question it the most, on top of, the random BS that we see. Yeah. Or like we're referees, I've been seeing it sometimes where they jump, like let's say the play's going past them like this.
Yeah.
And they're the spot judge. They move back. Like they don't move into the sidelines out of bounds. They move backwards, and it's like your depth perception is off.
It's horrible
on the spot. So that's take the hit. Yeah. You're a referee. Like take the hit.
Y'all need some like little baby pads on or something.
Right.
Just bounce up. It's all right. You'll be fine.
That would be awesome.
But this was probably the most evenly matched game of the weekend. It was definitely 50-50. Only a 20-yard difference, George, in total yardage. The biggest play of the game, like we said, was that it was 3-0. They had the chance to take it to 10-0. You don't pick it up, and then now the Niners get the ball and they have some momentum. They go score a touchdown at 7-3. Now the Packers are behind again. And then that first pick when it was 21-14 that Jordan Love threw, that one also was the determining factor in the game because they were driving on that drive as well,
right,
for some more points. And that was another opportunity to go up 10. That's all before the kicker shanks the kick. We'll get to another kicker later on in the show.
Oh, bro, this was the weekend of kickers will be receiving death threats. That's what this weekend should be tagged. And I mean, it's nothing like I do not condone this, but it's happening.
Oh,
there's a lot of negative DMs.
Did you see the story? Did you see the story about Tyler Bass? We all witnessed the origin story of Tyler Bass.
No,
you might want to go pull it up. I'll give you a moment. It's on the story. I'll switch gears as you go. But okay, that's putting a bowl. Well, no, I'll at least still give the Niners their flowers. Without Deebo Samuel and without a huge game from Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle went wild again. This is definitely his time of year to get loose, to get going. So yeah, look, I don't want the Niners to win. I definitely don't want the Niners to beat the Lions for sure. But, you do have to respect them. They are the number 1 seed. The Packers did have a chance for LaFleur to upstage the Sensei one last time. But yeah, I'll let you go ahead. What? No. You can hold it there. You can hold it. We'll get to that when we get to
Buffalo.
No, it's my show. It's fine. I'll just skip ahead. I'll come back. So the Chiefs-Bills game, George, I'm calling it the script rewrite bowl because the script was obviously for the Buffalo Bills to get to the Super Bowl. This was their year. Josh Allen's going wild the second half of the season. He's doing everything he can to make it happen and to win. And like I said, we may have witnessed the origin story for a one Tyler Bass. Go ahead, George. I'll let you cue it up now.
Of Super Bowl 17. What you wouldn't read about is how Ray Finkel lost his mind, was committed to a mental hospital only to escape and join the police force under the assumed identity of a missing hiker, manipulating his way to the top in a diabolical scheme to get even with Dan Marino, whom he blamed for the entire thing.
So, yeah, we might be seeing Ray Finkel. That was definitely laces out. It was wide right, and the craziest thing, so this is the craziest thing, right? So when they because the kick, it was like, I think it was like only like 40 some yards. It wasn't super long. Like it was definitely makeable. And I was like, which way was it that Norwood missed the kick? Was it wide left or wide right? And then as soon as he kicked it, I was like, wide right. And it was like, wide right.
Yeah, bro. The announcer hit that shit quicker than anybody. Like as soon, the ball didn't even finish traveling. He said, wide right, wide right. Like, bro, if I was a Bills fan, and this just goes to show that Cowboys fans are weak. You got to see when the Cowboys lost the fans punching the TVs and everything.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one Bills video of that. But if I was a diehard Bills fan and he called wide right before it could have came back.
Yeah.
And he called wide right before it happened.
No, it was moving wide right. I will say the one thing that I would do, George, if I was a Bills fan, I said this actually before the game. if the Bills lost, I didn't think the city would burn. I thought that someone would cut the power to Buffalo and the city would freeze and they would just all die together.
Did you see they turned the hot water off in the Chiefs locker room? None of the coaches for the Chiefs got a hot shower.
As they shouldn't. Get on the bus salty.
Get out of here.
It's all right.
You guys are gone.
We can shower back in the hotel.
You need to leave.
You need to leave. Oh my goodness. But George, listen, that was the wide right, the field goal was all after McCole Hardman fumbled the chance to put the game away at the 1 yard line. The second it happened, I was like, he wasn't down. And then they were like, oh, let's take a look. I was like, he wasn't down.
No.
I was like, they're not gonna let this slide. Oh, like if you're gonna fumble, dude, at least fumble it out of bounds. Don't let it hit the pylon. Don't let it go anywhere. He fumbles it and just throws it through the end zone. Like, bro, you're not making this any easier for us. You're really not.
Textbook me guy. I want to have a touchdown in the playoffs. Oh, look at me, so important. Like, no, bro, protect the football. And everybody that wants to change this rule, saying that should be not a touchback, should honestly reevaluate being a football fan.
Wow.
Do you see that's like, it's trending right now?
Is that really? That's sad.
It's trending, but I think it's just clickbait, to be honest. Like,
no, it's not. I don't even think it's clickbait. It's truthfully just that is the state of where we're at as a society. Like, things are too hard. Let's make them easier. So what are you gonna do? Just spot the ball back where it was.
Yeah,
give them another chance.
They want to put the ball at the 20. Like, no.
To back the offense up to the 20.
Yeah, like that's one thing. Or no, just it's a bad call. I think it should be worth points.
You think it should be worth?
I think it should be a safety.
Well, couldn't be a safety, but that's fair. I mean,
it happens 3 times a year. There's more safeties that happen than that exact situation that happens. So
that's fair.
Give the defense points.
Huh.
For you wanting to be a me guy. Makes sense. Me Cole. He's a me guy.
I actually call him me Cole, but I made sure to I made sure to say, like, because I turned McCole Hardman into Jesus Christ on the Madden, so he
get off my boy now.
It was a sad moment when I saw it happen because I was like, this is why you start as a 69 on Madden every time, and I have to turn you. Like, I'm like, just give him to me, and he'll be an X factor in 2 seasons. It'll be fine, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle, and he's getting older now too. So it's like, bro, I can't just keep doing this. You're normal. This is hard.
That's hilarious. That's your boy.
It's my boy. I was sad that it happened to him because, like, let's go.
No, yeah,
nigga.
Like, come on, bro.
But yeah, but listen, Josh Allen did all he could. 258 total yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing. But man, huge drops from Stephon Diggs. There was another drop as well in there. But man, like, George, there's only so much he could do. It was interesting. Ryan Clark, I was watching something earlier from First Take, and Ryan Clark was saying, we have to eventually start pointing the finger at Josh Allen, even though he played well. He's not beating the other elite quarterbacks that are in his way. And he was like, all this doesn't matter because he's home right now. He's home. Like, he's, you could say what you want, like, oh, he did this, he did that, but he's home.
Yep.
So that's the only thing that really matters. He was like, the reason we talk about Tom Brady as the greatest, he's like, it's not because he was the best quarterback, but when the time came, he won by and large almost every time.
Yep.
You really think about it. He didn't lose many. So that's kind of the narrative that does suck that comes out of that game. What's something else you had before we move on?
I didn't get a chance to discuss this on Gridiron Junkies. Make sure you go follow it and watch my latest episode where I recapped all the games, but I didn't talk about the Damar Hamlin fake punt. Oh my God.
I didn't realize
what is Buffalo thinking?
First off, I didn't realize that was Hamlin until I saw the memes for it later, and I was like,
oh no.
They put Hamlin in that position?
Dude.
Like, bro, it was like 4th and 5, dog. Like, it was like, it's 4th and 5, y'all going for it? Like, that, and that, I remember, that was also the play that even gave the Chiefs the opportunity to go up by 2 scores.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was what set up the Hardman fumble. That was That was absolute stupidity. I don't know what they were thinking right there.
I mean, okay, so looking at it in sense of where they were at in the game, all right? So, like, it was 14 minutes to go, and they had the ball on their side of the field. So, to me, they're like, all right, we can just have, if we mess up, the Chiefs will score quick, and then we'll get a chance to get the ball back. But still, even then, dude, 4th and 5 is not it for a fake punt. Like, you'd way rather have Josh Allen run a quarterback power.
I'd feel much more confident in that.
Right.
I'd feel confident in him just scrambling and just making something happen.
Yeah.
If we don't get it, we don't get it. But don't try to be cute. Like, the second I saw homeboy motion, I was like, are they about to fake this?
Yeah.
That was
they were about to fake that.
That was definitely unfortunate. All right, moving on to the next game, George. This one was We're Going to Be Who We Are Bowl. That was the Lions versus the Buccaneers.
I love it.
We're going to be who we are. This game was simple, that the Lions continue to put the ball in playmakers' hands. Amon-Ra St. Brown. We talked about it earlier. Jameer Gibbs getting loose, both catching and running the football. Even Jameson Williams with a few big catches in the game at the end as well. And on the flip side of that, the Buccaneers, I knew that they were going to keep it close because the Lions defense can't stop a runny nose.
Oh, no, they cannot.
But I also knew when it came down to it, George, that Baker was going to bake up another L, and he was going to throw a pick when it mattered most.
I love Baker Mayfield. You can visibly see when the defense is in his head. And I had called it out as soon as it happened. It's like Baker Mayfield will make a bad pass, and you can see the defensive linemen just start chirping at him.
Yeah.
And then Baker is a very verbal quarterback. He went right back at him and like get out of my face. Like, I'm a better quarterback than what I just put
dancing.
on there. Yeah, hey, yeah. So I knew when they were in his head, and I was like, the Lions got this victory. Because he's an emotional player, bro.
Yeah.
He's a very emotional player, and he got rattled. And that's all the Lions needed.
Yeah.
Because like you said, they could not stop anybody. They can't stop the run, and that's where they're supposed to be good at. Rachaad White, although he had 9 carries for 55 yards, Rachaad White dominated as far as moving the chains for the Buccaneers and making them.
Anytime they needed a first down, he was out of that 9, probably 6 or 7 of those carries was for first down.
Correct. So it was not a good sight for the Lions. They got a tall task next week. Got a tall task.
We'll get to it.
But as far as the Lions' overall performance, this offense is for real. Like, they can run the ball. They can pass the ball. They have threats in all positions.
Yep.
It's the receiving core they have is pretty solid. Josh Reynolds, Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, toss Laporta in there.
Yeah, Laporta.
They're good.
Yeah, all young. Man, like, look, I think, I've been on the Lions bandwagon for a minute. Saying that I felt like they were going to be a very good team. It's going to come down to their defense. And we'll talk about that when we switch gears over to this coming week's matchups. But their offense, man, their offense is looking good. I wish they could listen, they need to take at least 2 deep shots a game to Jameson Williams. Just 'cause.
Agreed. You gotta extend the defense.
Yeah, yes, and it would help Amon-Ra St. Brown because you're going to make the defense give more cushion. Now he has more space to get underneath. But just to keep him involved, to keep him juiced up, like at least give him a look twice a game.
Right.
On some kind of post or streak or 9 route, like just give him at least a couple looks.
Well, it's tough to do that when Jared Goff is as soft as wet toilet paper in the pocket. I've never seen a quarterback just take sacks easier than this man takes sacks.
I'm a Redskins fan, so I've seen plenty of crumples in a pocket before. Like, oh no.
It's like when you die in GTA, wasted. Yeah. He's just like, it's too often, bro. He just gets tapped in the pocket. And he's
go down.
Come on, Jared, be a little tougher. Like, I love, like, bro, it pains me to say it, but I see it happen and I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Hit a squat rack.
And squat rack. And their offensive line is great.
Amazing.
They have a great offensive line, so it's like just trust your O-line more. Because he's going to have to make a couple throws in this next game that is not going to be pretty around him.
Agreed.
It's not going to be pretty. So he's going to have to be able to do that. But switching gears to the final game of the divisional round, George, this was the You're Just Not Ready Bowl. The Ravens versus the Texans. The Texans were a great story, but they ran into an offensive and defensive juggernaut that they did not have the talent to keep up with. Plain and simple.
Yep.
Offensively, the Texans couldn't do anything. C.J. Stroud finished the game with 175 yards, 0 touchdowns, only 31 total yards on the ground for the Texans. They were handily beaten.
There was no hope early on when I was watching this that the run game would pick up. You can just tell they were out-physicaled up front. Like, there was no match. Jadeveon Clowney and that Ravens defense, they're legit, dude. And they're steadfast in stopping the run and creating pressure. So once I saw that was kind of the outlook for what's happening up front, the Texans did make big plays. Like early in the game, tell me at the first half, after they got the punt return for a touchdown, you weren't like, does this happen? And they got 3 and outs.
That's what I'm saying. That was what I was going to say. It wasn't so much that touchdown, but it was what immediately preceded it, and that was 3 and out. Bad, and then not only just 3 and outs, but like bad looking 3 and outs. Like it's like some momentum has slid. But then whenever the Texans would get the ball back, it was like, maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the game was still close. It was still in the balance enough when that happened. Because I want to say, what was it, like 17-10?
Yeah.
It was like 17-10, I feel like. And so the game was still right there for the Texans to grasp it, but they physically couldn't do anything.
Yeah. And it's the ultimate superpower that the Ravens have when Lamar doesn't run like at all early, and then you just see him turn it on for like 2 plays, and you're like, it's like having a 99 overall quarterback that you're trying, like he's an 80 overall at throwing, and you're trying to improve that, but if you run with him, like he's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that defense, I can just sense it. Like even me thinking back to when I played linebacker and you play a mobile quarterback, you're like, oh, it's coming. You know what I mean?
At some point, you're constantly on edge over it.
You see him like taking a couple of sacks, trying to look downfield, not making anything happen, and you're like, oh, thank God, we got away with another one. And then he takes off, and you're like, oh, what's happening? And you miss tackles and shit.
I still have to do that clip. Dang it. I still have to do that clip. Dang it. All right. The It's Happening clip.
Oh, it's happening.
Yeah, I have to do that one. I still have to do that one. So, but 229 total yards on the ground for the Ravens, 100 yards for Lamar Jackson. We mentioned the 2 touchdowns earlier. Only 4 incompletions. Lamar only had 152 yards through the air, but he was efficient. Only 4 incompletions and also 2 more touchdowns. So that's going to be a tall task for the Chiefs, but we will get there. All right, George, we're switching gears over to this week's matchups. Up first, George, it's the Crips versus the Bloods, and it's the Niners versus the Lions.
I love it.
So it's gonna be we're a country of red and blue states, so this is a perfect matchup for the country to watch.
You know who I'm on, bro? I'm on them Lions.
Listen. I pray that they're as stupid again and they give the Lions a 9.5 line. A plus line.
Oh, you're crazy. You're smoking crack cocaine, Josh. It's not going to be a 9.5 line.
Hey, listen. They gave the Packers
I'll tell you right now.
9.5.
Guess the line. Guess the line. Because my guess was minus 5.5.
I'm gonna say 6.5. Minus 6.5 is what I'll say.
All right.
Because that defense is really bad. Like, when we get into the keys to the game, what is it?
It is right now on the Action Network. You're finding it at minus 7.
See,
-7. Line opens up at -7.
That's
crazy.
That's a good line.
That's only going to go down, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So you take the Lions now. If you like them with +7, it will be +5 once kickoff happens. Mark my words.
That's a great line to bet, because if you think that the only difference this time is I don't know if I think the Lions are going to win. I want the Lions to win.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be able to do enough to make that happen.
You got to outrun the best running team in football.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, it's going to be. I will find the over under on this, but I would imagine it's going to be pretty low. No, it's not. See, like I'm going to be all over this line right now. It's at 45 or 50.5.
50.5?
50.5. So I want the under in that without a doubt. Yeah.
You want the under there?
Yeah. Because they're going to run the ball a lot more than people think. The big plays, as far as the 49ers, they're probably going to limit them. And the Lions will give up a good deal of big plays. But they play tough red zone defense.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I do like that. A fun prop to put in these type of situations is always going to be field goals in the game.
Okay.
Over, under, like 3.5. I'll take the over.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into the keys to getting to the Super Bowl for each of these teams. So up first for the Niners, I'm thinking they have to contain Amon-Ra St. Brown and Gibbs, Jameer Gibbs, force someone else to beat you. Because like we said earlier, they don't really give Jameson Williams a whole lot of opportunities. Like I said with McCole Hardman, I got Jameson Williams on Madden right now, and he's the greatest receiver of all time.
Right.
He's the greatest receiver of all time.
Right.
Like, it's not even like he's a 99, he's 25. Yeah. I mean, Madden isn't real life, but good God, at least give the man a chance.
Literally.
like he's going to see one of these passes at least 60 yards downfield, like he should. But that's what the Niners need to do is force someone like that, force Laporta, force those others to beat them consistently.
Yep.
If they do that, I think that already gives them a great chance to move on. And then also, if no Deebo Samuels, find ways to get CMC involved early, because in the last couple games he's kind of, they kind of like wait to unleash him until the end of the game. Like he'll get a late game touchdown that ends up being like the decider, but like you probably need to be getting him involved like that at the very, very beginning.
I don't know what the most amount of carries Christian McCaffrey's ever had in his career, high school, youth, or whatever. He needs to break that record this weekend. Like
double it.
Like the 49ers need to stop propping up this average quarterback, Brock Purdy, and putting him in situations that he's not ready for. All right? You should not be making Brock Purdy be your superstar player when you have Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. And they need to run the ball 40 times. Like, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Like, think old Pittsburgh Steelers with Jerome Bettis. That man was getting 35 carries. He needs that.
He needs 35 carries. I feel you. I'm not. That's a good key to win. For the Lions, for me, it's they need to get turnovers.
Yes.
Because if their defense is going to because the Lions don't get off the field.
Yep.
They get themselves in 3rd and 15s. It's like, oh, okay, about to get the ball back. No, 25-yard gain. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
They do that a lot. So with a team like the Niners who already feast on just momentum, you know what I mean? Like this game this past weekend, they shouldn't have won that game. They really, really shouldn't have. But they kept it close enough that the Packers never won the game. They never put finality to it and put them away.
Right.
So with the Lions, man, like with a defense that's already suspect, you've got to just create havoc. So whether that's getting a Brock Purdy fumble or, you get a pick somewhere, you got to do something to create some turnovers for yourself. Give your offense more opportunities to score. Especially now with them getting healthier a little bit. C.J. Gardner-Johnson came back last week, so that is going to help them immensely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He made it to the Super Bowl last year with the Eagles, so he knows what it takes to get there. I think that he'll do something. I look forward to him doing something this game. Also on offense, continue using motion to wreak havoc on the matchups of the opposing defense, and they got to finish their drives in the end zone. They can't settle for field goals. They got to find ways to get 6.
Yep. I would like to see the offense at times spread out a little bit more. They're a very condensed offense. When you watch the Lions, and they find success in it, so I'm not knocking their hustle, but I think Jared Goff comes from a background in which he likes to spread the field out in bigger situations. And I just think it opens up a little more options with the receivers. So if they play a condensed style of offense, I just don't see them having like uber success in the passing department. I think they do that just mainly to disguise their run plays and get Jared Goff in a lot of play action type situations.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest fear for the Lions here is like, you can't get down early. Like the Lions in their two playoff games have not been down. Yeah. Like in the Rams game, they were always consistently in the lead. In this game that they played in the Bucs, they would tie it up, but the Lions definitely always had the upper hand and the momentum.
Yeah.
You cannot fall behind to the 49ers.
Shoot, and then piggybacking on that, man, they got to put them away.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Whether that's putting them away or with your offense on the field, or getting that stop to end the game.
Yeah.
But, like, even giving Baker Mayfield the opportunity to go tie the game shouldn't have taken place.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that game should have ended on victory formation.
Yes.
Like, it shouldn't have had to end with us getting a pick to save the day and, oh, this linebacker that no one knows. Good story. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they've got to – if they get up by 10 – they need to stay up by 10. Don't start getting cute and letting them kind of weasel their way back in the game, because the Niners have shown that they can and they will.
Yeah.
So
I am super hopeful, though, with how the Packers diced up that 49ers defense that I thought was like – I thought that game was going to end a lot differently than the final result. Like the Packers were in it all game long, and it was really just like coaching – mishaps where there was a couple of plays where receivers were just like getting wide open. I was like, the Matt LaFleur coached it to perfection, and I think it's Ben Johnson, yes, for Lions.
Yeah, Ben Johnson.
That can do similar things to that 49ers defense, who is missing D'Amico Ryans right now.
Yeah.
They are missing him.
One last thing before we get off of this game. For the Lions defense, they have to stay out of 4th and 5 and under situations, because if they can keep the down and distance longer than 5 yards, they're going to force punts.
Yep.
But if they keep it at 4 or 5 yards, everybody is like Madden right now, bro. And it's like, yeah, we're going to go for it. It's like, it's 4th and 5. Like, yeah, we're going to go for it. We're going to pick it up. Like, oh my God, we're rewriting football, man. So like, from a momentum standpoint, from a morale standpoint, they cannot put themselves in those positions to get beat on 4th and 5s.
Agreed.
Like, that will be soul crushing. Like, for real. So that's I mean, do you have a pick for the game?
Give me Lions money line, and give me the under. Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be a sloppy game. I don't think it's going to be like this touchdown barrage that everyone's thinking.
Yeah.
A lot of field goals.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go Lions.
I love it.
Go Lions.
I love it.
And look, I think if the Lions can make their first ever Super Bowl with this cast of characters, with this coach, that would just be so tremendous. I'd love to see the Lions win a Super Bowl. Even if it is with Patrick Mahomes on the other side. If it's with Patrick Mahomes, I'm still cheering Chiefs, but if the Lions win, I ain't going to cry. I ain't going to be sad. So, no Niners. No faithful.
Lions winning the Super Bowl will be probably the most shocking Super Bowl win since the Giants beat the Patriots in that undefeated season.
Wow.
I think it would be the most surprising victor. Like, yeah, I'm thinking back. There's really nothing that shocks you as far as Super Bowl long shots.
You know what? What Super Bowl was that? You know what was more surprising? Not as more surprising than the Giants one, but the Broncos getting killed by the Seahawks.
That one was pretty crazy.
That Super Bowl where they got blown out on the year that Peyton had, 50-some touchdowns and was absolutely murdering everyone. That Super Bowl is still more so, like, that was surreal. Like, it was like, they are getting absolutely murdered.
Yeah.
Like, it was
by
crazy.
A team that everyone felt like they shouldn't even be there.
Yeah.
And so that's a very good point.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that if the Lions won the Super Bowl, that would be absolute just nonsense. All right, George, the final matchup of the weekend, we've got the changing of the narrative or another chapter in the baby goat's legacy. So that's what this one is. Either Lamar is going to take the final step and really put a stamp. Dan Orlovsky actually had a really, really like beautiful take in terms of quarterbacks that look like Lamar, like a quarterback that looks like me. Not, because listen, Patrick Mahomes is an amazing quarterback. He can run, he has run, but he is still a quarterback. He is not necessarily a dual threat from that standpoint that you're just so afraid of his legs. You're more afraid of his arm than you are of his legs.
Yep.
His legs are just very dangerous because his arm is so good. That's what makes him so unique. But Lamar will put, if Lamar is able to win a Super Bowl, he will put finality to, black quarterbacks that run this way or that do this can't do something. He would be the story of Michael Vick crawling so he could run.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Vick never was able to do it. Randall Cunningham was never able to do it. The black running quarterback was never able to do it. So if he was able to do that and give the Ravens their third Super Bowl title, which is crazy to say, it would definitely be a changing of the narrative. On the flip side of that, George, if Mahomes was to win title number 3, man, listen, he would be in rarefied air.
Oh, yes.
That's starting to creep up, starting to look at Montana. We're starting to look at some people.
Yep.
Montana's got 4. You know what I mean? Terry Bradshaw's got 4. There's only one other person above him with 5 and 6 and 7. You know what I mean? It's literally, you're literally putting him up there now.
Yep.
If he's able to do that, get to another Super Bowl and win it. So this game has a lot on the line. A lot. There's a lot there. 6 conference championship games in 6 years as a starter for Mahomes, which is already insane.
Yep.
But man, I'll let you go. I've talked too much.
No, man, that you were hitting all the right notes. It makes me think that if Lamar wins the title, he's kind of doing it not by himself, but everyone would view that Super Bowl as that's Lamar Jackson's Super Bowl. If Patrick Mahomes wins the next Super Bowl, he really needs that cast of characters. Like when you're a quarterback, you look back on Brady being a quarterback.
Yeah.
The pieces had to be right.
Yeah.
The running back had to be running his best at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar is kind of single-handedly carrying this team to a title.
No Mark Andrews. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I forget the running back that they had that was really, really coming alive that tore his ACL.
Yeah, you had J.K. Dobbins.
Well, J.K. Dobbins
was
too.
Early.
He got hurt early. Then find this guy. All right. Then he starts running a 4.3, and it's like, good God, why do they keep finding running backs?
Yes.
But you're right. You know what I'm saying? When's the last time you saw Odell Beckham jump up and give a first down signal after a big catch?
No. You see Odell put the top 10 chain on Lamar after the game. That was it. That's all OBJ did.
But you know what I'm saying? To your point, they, it hasn't been one or two guys that have really stayed with him. Like, I got you, Lamar. I'm gonna be here every week.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a rotation.
He's the most, if they won the Super Bowl, they being the Baltimore Ravens, it is the most impressive single-handed performance by any of those Super Bowl teams.
Yeah.
And it's not even happened yet. I'm just saying optically and the way the story will be written, you look at the 49ers, if they win the title, well, they got a great group of guys.
Yeah.
One of the best offenses that's ever been assembled. The Lions, same thing. Toughness, grit, but team. The Chiefs, yeah, it's Patrick Mahomes, but it's Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, and then who's going to win the MVP of the Super Bowl if the Chiefs make it? Isaiah Pacheco. Take that now, all right? Nobody is playing better than that young man is right now at the running back position. Maybe Jameer Gibbs.
Especially in big moments, too.
Oh, my God.
Anytime it's like, oh, okay, momentum's starting to shift. 30-yard run, like, oh my goodness, that was a huge play.
It just gave me chills right now, and this just goes to show how much of a football guy I am. I'm going to get to watch Isaiah Pacheco and Roquan Smith hit each other for 4 quarters. I cannot wait. It gives me chills, bro. I'm like, ooh. This is going to be, because those are two of the best.
Yeah.
2 of the best. They're going to meet in the hole a couple of times, and I'm like, hey.
Big boy
really
football
better?
right now. Yeah,
It's Oklahoma drill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think the biggest storyline from this game too is going to be not only how does Lamar respond to Spagnuolo's shifting schemes, but how does Spagnuolo respond to Lamar, breaking one or making a big play?
Yep.
Does he stop doing something versus doing something more? Like, that's going to be interesting. I think you blitz. I think you blitz a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
Because
Texans did that. The Texans were blitzing a lot, and you had to keep the spy, and your spy's got to be as quick as him.
Willie Gay.
Yeah, but Willie Gay can't keep up with him, bro.
No.
Nobody can.
But Willie Gay who was actually helping a lot on Josh Allen this week. Willie Gay is very fast. So, like, if I can stop, because this was happening versus the Bills, if I can stop that from being a 20-yard run and making it 8,
right,
that's a big play. It's a big play in that moment. Josh Allen had to either get down or take a hit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Same thing with Lamar Jackson. Like, if you can stop that from being a 30-yard run and keeping it at 12, it's quietly a big deal
100%.
in the grand scheme. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But let's go ahead and get to some keys to the Super Bowl. I'll go ahead and give the Ravens first. For me, it's staying multiple, being able to both run and pass to combat over blitzing. You got to be able to hit that man when it's single coverage. You know what I mean? You just have to.
Yep.
And really just not becoming too predictable for the Chiefs. If the Chiefs can start to get a beat on what they're doing, it's going to make it a little bit tougher on Lamar. Defensively, I think keeping Mahomes contained and keeping him away from hero moments. Mm-hmm. As we said earlier, Mahomes isn't a running quarterback. He is a quarterback who can run. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? I throw, but since you're thinking I'm throwing deep so much, you're 30 yards downfield and you didn't have contain, I'm out.
Right.
I'm going to go get 20 yards. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, he can run. It's not that he's looking to run every time. You know what I'm saying? So if they can keep him from those hero moments on 3rd and 12 where he picks up 18, that's going to be the deciding factor for them, for me. What are your keys for the Ravens?
The Ravens need to, without a doubt, establish that Lamar Jackson is going to win us a Super Bowl game, and we're going to do everything in our power to establish his dominance early. I think they waited a little too long in this past game versus the Texans to allow Lamar's running ability to shine. I think if you really want to take control of this game, establish him as a runner, and then it will in turn make it easier for him on the back end and the reads that he's receiving, because you'll start getting the defense playing a little up close. And if I like Lamar Jackson in any facet of throwing, I think he's got a decent go ball when, he's got one single thought, right?
Yeah.
He knows he's got one-on-one on the outside, and then I think it's time to let, OBJ, go back to his roots and start cooking some people deep.
Go get one.
Yeah, but definitely establish Lamar Jackson as a runner early.
Yeah.
Needs to happen.
Okay, all right. And switching gears over to the Chiefs, my keys for them to get back to another Super Bowl title. First, creating big plays. They have to find a way to get big plays, to get chunk plays, even with such a stout defense that the Ravens have. I think that them doing that can keep the momentum from shifting too much towards Baltimore. On defense, finding a way to keep the Ravens from controlling the tempo. The Ravens owned the clock, the time of possession versus the Texans. They have to keep the Ravens from just churning the clock. They've got to get more offensive possessions for their offense, and keeping them similar to the Lions, keeping them out of the shorter down and distances on 3rd and 4th down.
Yep.
If they can do that, they can get off the field and they can give their offense more chances. What about you?
I would experience possibly in some random situations Let's put Isaiah Pacheco as the quarterback spy for a couple of these plays. You know what I mean? Let's just make sure that Lamar knows that, hey, we're matching you speed for speed. That'll never happen, but I was just like, in Madden, that's what I would do. I would let's put Pacheco at middle linebacker and have him do some damage. But in reality, they need to get creative. And I think this is the week where Andy Reid comes out with maybe some wing T stuff in the red zone, or they do like where they holding hands, spinning around
the carousel joint
in a circle, and then boom, right? Like just you will see Andy Reid's creative genius come into play in this game. And I think that right there, it's enough unexpected randomness that it can win them a football game.
Yeah.
So if they don't have any of that stuff and they stutter in the red zone and they're settling for field goals, I'll know. I was like, hey, the big man was eating too many hamburgers and it was
too many nuggies.
It was clogging his creative process.
Too many nuggies.
How about them nuggies?
But before we get out on the prediction, let's talk about Andy Reid. Andy Reid, I think this is his 11th conference title game. That's insane. That's really, really crazy. You really think about it. I mean, because I want to say he had 4 or 5.
11th.
It is 11, right? Because he had 5 with the Eagles, because they lost 4 straight times in the conference title game with Donovan McNabb, and then they went and got T.O. and they finally punched through, and that was their 5th time. So yeah, he went to 5 with them. This is now 6 with the Chiefs. Bro, that's crazy, dog.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And in different conferences.
Yep.
Different conferences. I think he has 5 in the NFC and 6 now in the AFC. Wild.
That's greatness. That's absolute greatness. What do you have? What's your prediction for the game?
Oh, man. Here's the thing. I gotta follow my heart. You never bet against the better quarterback at this stage.
Yeah.
And he's an underdog. Give me Patrick Mahomes, money line.
Yep.
And it's gonna hurt me because I need the Ravens to make it.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm missing the boat and taking what can possibly be the greatest quarterback of all time as an underdog. When in my opinion, they got through the toughest challenger this past week with the Bills.
Yeah.
Like I think the Bills was the tougher of the 2 games that they're going to have to play.
Yeah.
So give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Chiefs, and it does suck because listen, I understand what a Lamar championship would look like, what it could do, both from a national perspective as well as just people's perception of black athletes. But listen, I'm not cheering or rooting against greatness unless it's against my team.
Right.
Only time I cheer against Patrick Mahomes is if it's against the Redskins. That's it.
Yep.
That's the list.
Yep.
Any other time, I've got to cheer for him. I'd love to see another great game because that game versus the Bills was a great game, even though I slept through the first half. Don't ask. I was passed out.
Dog, no, I'm right with you. Third quarter.
I woke up and was like, okay, 7-point game. All right.
I woke
Let's
up
go ahead and get to it.
to the fumble out of bounds.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was third quarter. I wake up and I'm like, oh, my God, no, he did not just do that.
Am I still dreaming?
Yeah. Let me go back to bed now. And it's.
So, yeah, man, I think it's going to be Chiefs-Lions for the Super Bowl. I've been on a hot streak calling these games. Those 2, though, those are the first times I've really been betting with my heart. So that's always dangerous.
Very.
Especially with me, because my heart lies to me all the time. Just look at my dating history. But but it is what it is, man. So, but thank you guys again for tuning in to another episode of the American Fan 365 podcast. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Man, listen, we might have some big interviews coming up. So please keep staying tuned. This next one, George, I'll put it out there because we like to speak things put things into the universe, and we're looking, George, to get Randall Cunningham in here next week.
Hall of Famer.
Looking to have a Hall of Famer sitting right here in this seat, real close. You know what I mean? And if you ask, if you could have told me as a child that not only would I get to know so many athletes, live this life, I would have told you were crazy. But yeah, being able to both get to know Randall and then having the opportunity to possibly sit down and talk to him on this channel, on this show, really, really good, man. So Keach, George is out here pushing towards his dreams. I'm out here pushing towards mine. Make sure you push towards yours, and we'll see you guys next time.